Okay, so this is future me figuring out that I missed a redstone component in the video. I already had comparators in it, but this is going to be at the start of the video, and this is just me looking at another feature with comparators. So, when you activate a comparator, like this, when it looks like this instead of like this, when you send a signal into the side, it does nothing. But when you send a signal out front, it does send out a signal. And then when you send in this signal, you could see that this got much lower, much darker. And this is because this is called subtract mode. Whenever you put one signal in at this point from the front, it will send a signal out equivalent to this signal, which starts at 15 from the lever, minus this signal, which starts at 15 from the lever. So, we have 3 blocks here, which means that our signal is at 12 when it reaches this. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, we have 7 blocks here, which means that our signal is at 8 when it reaches this. So, our signal of 12 minus our signal of 8 gives us a signal of 4, and you see there's no more power at our signal, at our 5th redstone over here. So this is just how to use subtract mode for a comparator, but I almost ended up forgetting this entirely. Alright everyone, so this video is just going to be explaining redstone, how the components work, how you are supposed to use the components, and first of all, we have the redstone block, which, just like the redstone torch, it will send a signal for 15, progressively getting darker as we go, and then eventually it will turn this dark red color, which means that there's no more redstone. And a way to work around this is to take another block, redstone torch or redstone block or whatever you're using, and to put a repeater at the end. Now, a repeater always delays it by 1 tick, all the way up to 4 ticks. Now, when you are trying to get a, say, 1 second delay, you can use 5, which means that 20 ticks make 1 second. So this would be a 20th of a second of delay before this redstone signal, using a button or a lever or a pressure plate, would end up going all the way down to here. And I showed this 16 blocks away because what a repeater does is it takes the original signal and it makes it 15. Now what we also have here is a target block. And since I'm creative, I have unlimited arrows, but if I shoot this target block, it will release a redstone signal. Now, this signal is amplified based on how hard you hit your arrow, how far away it is, all of that. Now, what we also have here is a lever. Now, a lever will also emit a signal of 15, just like the torch and the redstone block, but it cannot be toggled. It can be toggled, which is the same way with a redstone torch. If I can just get a block here, and if I can get a torch and a lever, if I do this, I put this torch right here, and I put this lever on any side of it, I can deactivate this redstone torch, which is used for more advanced redstone builds. Now, you can deactivate the lever, but there is no way to deactivate a redstone block. It will always be on, it will always be emitting a signal of 15 to any redstone around it. Now, a button is the same, but a button will turn on, stay for a second, and then it will turn off. Now, we also have pressure plates. This pressure plate in specific will go for a signal of 15, but then a lightweight pressure plate will go for a signal of what appears to be 1, and then a heavy-weighted pressure plate will also go for a signal of 1. Now, if we use a stone pressure plate, this will also go to a signal of 15, but light and heavyweight pressure plates do not go as far as the others. Now, what we have right here is we have a skulk sensor. This detects sound. It's one of the newer blocks in Minecraft, and if I were to say jump, it would send out a redstone signal. If I were to break a block, it would send out a redstone signal. Place a block, walk, sprint, anything. It will detect anything. Now we also have a tripwire, which is kind of hard to see if you know how to hide it well. And this tripwire, if I walk over it, both of these will emit a signal. Both hooks emit a signal when this happens, and then it will not work if there are not two hooks. Now, we also have the daylight sensor. This sensor emits a signal depending on the time of day and where the sun is positioned in accordance to it. So if you have this inside, it will not pick up any signal. I can't really show this off because you can't really see that there's no signal here. Oh, okay. But eventually, it will no longer have a signal, and you will have to change it to the mode for night, which will detect when it's night, and it'll send out a signal based on that. And here we have pistons. Now, this is a sticky piston. This is a normal piston. This is a sticky piston with a slime block on it. This is a sticky piston with a honey block on it. Honey and slime work the exact same. Now, sticky and normal pistons do not work similarly to each other. If I flip this lever right here, we will see all of these pistons go upwards, or over. And we see the sticky piston and the normal piston are both pushing here, and we see that the slime and the honey have taken all blocks around them and they've brought them up. Now, if I turn this off, the slime, the honey, all these logs, and this log will come back, but this log will stay because it's not on a sticky piston. See? Now if I do this again, it still will not come back. That is how a normal piston will work. And now if I take another lever, I can, for the sake of doing this easier, I'm just going to do this. If I look at my inventory, I have no armor equipped. Now, when I click this, it equips me with a diamond helmet. Now if I get rid of this, and I go over to here, and I try the same thing, this will instead give me a diamond helmet. Now, what we are seeing here is the difference between a dropper, which is right here, you can tell because of the way the hole looks, and a dispenser. A dispenser will activate items such as arrows, fire charges, armor, shields, all of that. Although, a dropper will just drop it for you. No matter what it is, it will just drop. Now, what we have here is a hopper going into a chest. Now, this chest will be taking items from this hopper. Like if I were to put this lever in, it would go down into the chest. Now, what happens if I throw this lever on, it will take it, and it'll put it in the chest. Now, if I end up turning this lever on and activating these hoppers, if I throw this item on, it will not go in. And if I put this item in, it will not go down to the chest. This is because a mechanic which prevents hoppers from picking up items or sending items to chests or other storage places, such as barrels. Now, although this will still allow you to send blocks to other hoppers. So if I were to do this, and I were to put this lever in here, okay, I guess not. So the system has been changed, I suppose, and now it is unable to do any of this. This is fine though. We have this hopper is, when unpowered, it will still send back into here. And then this is a normal chest, a normal large chest, and this also says large chest. But you can see a very distinct difference is this has a black rim around the opening, and this one has a red rim. Now, when you look at this, you will be able to tell that when I open it, there is a redstone signal coming right out of here, right? You can see it. You can see the color change. And then an observer tells when there is a block update in front of it. So if I turn this lever on, it will it will send out a signal. And then if I get a minecart and I turn this on, this is an activator rail. This will hit the minecart. This will make the minecart go faster. And this will send out a signal if there's a minecart there. Now this is a comparator. It will send out a signal if there is something in the chest. Stronger signal, the more items that are in there. Thank you for watching, and